Imagine becoming one of the most recognizable people on Earth. Not famous, not popular, recognizable. The kind of famous where millions of people know your face instantly. A single photo, a quick glance, a shadow in the distance, and somehow, people still know it is you. For most people, fame sounds exciting. Money, attention, luxury, crowds screaming your name. But what happens when fame stops feeling exciting and starts feeling impossible to escape? For years, Michael Jackson appeared in public wearing masks, sunglasses, scarves, large coats, sometimes even full disguises. To many people, it looked strange, mysterious, even confusing. People asked questions. Was he hiding? Was he afraid? Was something wrong? Or was there something much deeper happening behind the scenes? Because the truth is, Michael Jackson did not experience fame the way most celebrities do. He did not slowly become famous as an adult. He grew up inside attention, inside cameras, inside pressure, before he even understood what privacy really meant. As a child performer, his life was already public. Fans watched him grow. The media watched him change. And eventually, the entire world started paying attention. Not just to his music, but to everything. His appearance, his voice, his personality, his movements. Even silence became news. Imagine living in a world where people constantly look at you. Not sometimes, everywhere, at airports, in hotels, outside buildings, during vacations, inside restaurants, even during moments that should feel private. Now imagine experiencing that pressure for years, then decades. At some point, something changes. Because attention may feel exciting at first, but endless attention, that can feel exhausting. And maybe that is where the story really begins. For many people, leaving the house is simple. You walk outside, buy coffee, go to the airport, walk through a hotel lobby, and nobody cares. Nobody stops you. Nobody stares. Nobody follows you. But for Michael Jackson, normal life had almost disappeared. By the time he became one of the biggest stars in the world, privacy had become something rare, almost impossible. Cameras followed him constantly. Fans gathered in crowds. Reporters asked questions. Strangers watched every movement. And the more famous he became, the smaller his personal world seemed to get. Something as simple as walking through an airport could become chaos. People screaming, security rushing, camera flashes everywhere, no quiet, no space, no ordinary moment. Eventually, people started noticing something. Michael was appearing in public differently. Large sunglasses, face coverings, scarves, hats, sometimes masks, sometimes outfits that made him harder to recognize. To the public, it looked mysterious. Some people even laughed at it. Others turned it into headlines. Why is he hiding? What is he trying to cover? But maybe the better question is this: what happens when a person feels watched all the time? Psychologists often talk about overstimulation, too much attention, too much pressure, too much noise. The human brain is not really designed to feel observed every second. Now imagine millions of eyes, every photo discussed online, every movement analyzed, every expression judged. At some point, even stepping outside can begin to feel overwhelming. And for someone like Michael Jackson, the mask may not have felt strange at all. It may have felt necessary, not because he wanted mystery, not because he wanted attention, but because sometimes people try to protect themselves from things the outside world cannot see. And fame can be heavier than people imagine. So, why did Michael Jackson hide behind masks? The honest answer is this: there was never one single explanation. No official moment where Michael simply said, "This is the reason." But over the years, several explanations began to make sense. The first is privacy. And honestly, this may be the most obvious one. Imagine losing the ability to exist normally. No quiet shopping, no peaceful walk, no anonymous moment. Even small daily experiences become impossible when people recognize you instantly. For most people, privacy feels normal. For Michael Jackson, privacy may have felt priceless. A mask could create distance, even if only for a moment, even if only psychologically. The second possible reason is emotional exhaustion. Because fame changes people, or maybe more accurately, fame changes what life feels like. When millions of strangers constantly talk about you, judge you, photograph you, and speculate about every detail of your existence, eventually pressure builds, and pressure changes behavior. What people call strange sometimes starts as survival. Then there is another possibility: control. Many celebrities carefully manage how the world sees them, what they reveal, what they hide, what version of themselves becomes public. And perhaps the masks helped Michael control something in a life that often felt uncontrollable. Because when the world feels loud, people search for ways to feel safe again. And maybe that is what this was really about. Not hiding from fame, but surviving it. Because there is a difference. One comes from fear. The other comes from exhaustion. Maybe Michael Jackson was not trying to disappear. Maybe he was simply trying to protect what little privacy still remained. And when you think about it that way, the masks stop looking mysterious and start looking human.